We already know the law of demand. When prices go up, people generally buy less. That's economics 101. But for a CEO, a policymaker, or a savvy investor, that's not enough. The million-dollar question isn't if they buy less, but how much less. This is price elasticity of demand. It measures responsiveness. It answers the question, are you a prisoner to the product, or will you walk away at the first sign of a price hike? Watch two shoppers. On the left, a commuter. Gas light comes on, $3.50 per gallon. He winces but fills up. Next day, $5. He winces harder, but still fills up. He has no choice. On the right, a couple browsing flights to Bali. $800. They smile. Price refreshes to $9.50. They immediately close the tab and search for road trips near me. They walked away. Before we look at the graphs, we need to speak the language. Elasticity is calculated as the percentage change in quantity divided by the percentage change in price. If the price of a burger goes up by 10% and sales drop by 20%, your elasticity is 2. Why does that number matter? Because it tells us the magnitude of the reaction. The bigger the number, the bigger the reaction. In economics, we ignore the negative sign and just look at the absolute number. If it's big, your customers are sensitive. If it's small, they aren't. Elasticity is a spectrum. On one extreme, we have perfectly inelastic, a vertical line. This means you would pay any price to get the good. Think of life-saving insulin. As the curve tilts, we hit inelastic demand. The curve is steep. A massive price hike causes only a tiny drop in sales. Gasoline is a classic example. In the middle is unit elasticity, where a 10% price hike causes an exact 10% drop in sales. The percentages move in lockstep, flatten the curve further, and we get elastic demand. These are wants. A small price bump scares away huge numbers of buyers. Soft drinks are a great example. Finally, the perfectly elastic horizontal line. If a farmer tries to sell wheat for 1 penny above market price, nobody buys it because they can get the exact same wheat elsewhere. Perfect competition. So what determines the shape of that curve? Economists use the acronym SPLT. Let's break it down. S is for substitutes. This is the biggest factor. If a product has many substitutes, like a specific brand of cereal, demand is elastic. If the price goes up, you just switch brands. If there are no substitutes, demand is inelastic. E is for proportion of income. If the price of gum doubles from 25 cents to 50 cents, you don't care. It's a tiny percent of your income. Inelastic. If your rent doubles, you freak out. Elastic. L is for luxury versus necessity. We buy necessities regardless of price. We cut luxuries the moment money gets tight. Red versus diamond rings. T is for time. This is crucial. Time changes everything. In the short run, demand is often inelastic because we are creatures of habit and stuck in contracts. If gas prices spike today, you still have to drive to work tomorrow. You pay the price. But give it a year, you might buy a hybrid car, move closer to the office, or start carpooling. In the long run, demand always becomes more elastic because people have time to find alternatives and change their behavior. Watch as this steep curve flattens over time. Why does this matter for business? It's the total revenue test. If you are selling an inelastic product, you should raise prices. You lose very few customers, and the higher price on everyone else increases your total revenue. But if you sell an elastic product, raising prices is suicide. You lose so much volume that your revenue crashes. In fact, if you want to make more money with an elastic product, you should have a sale. Lowering the price brings in so many new customers that it offsets the discount. Smart companies weaponize this. Airlines know that business travelers are inelastic. They will pay anything last minute. Vacationers are elastic. They need cheap tickets months in advance. So airlines charge them different prices for the same seat. This is price discrimination. When costs increase, companies ask, is my customer trapped? If yes, pass on the cost. If no, either eat the cost or use shrinkflation. Understanding elasticity is the difference between pricing yourself out of existence or capturing maximum value from the market. Remember the key takeaways. Elasticity measures sensitivity. Steep curves mean inelastic. Flat curves mean elastic. Substitutes are the biggest determinant. Time makes everything more elastic. If inelastic, raise prices. If elastic, lower prices. Master this concept, and you master pricing strategy. Now you understand the economics of price. You see the invisible forces that determine whether a company can raise prices or must compete on cost. Use this knowledge wisely,